In the cold and silent darkness of space, something moved, a whisper that traveled faster than sound, faster than light. It was a signal, a distress call, weak, broken, full of static. But it carried a message, a cry for help. It came from a small planet called Rylos, deep in Sector 9, far from the busy lanes of the galaxy. The people of Rylos were peaceful. They had no army, no weapons. They believed in diplomacy, in peace, in building alliances. But that peace had ended. A strange, unstoppable force had attacked them. Machines, cold, metallic, and without mercy. They fell from the sky like fire. The Rylos' defense systems were weak. Their cities fell one by one. Families hid underground. Leaders panicked. No one knew what the invaders wanted. They didn't speak. They didn't demand. They only destroyed. So the leaders of Rylos made a decision. A desperate one. They activated the ancient Beacon device buried deep below their capital. It had not been used in hundreds of years, not since the Great Galactic War. That beacon sent a signal far and wide, reaching every corner of the galaxy. The signal said just one thing. This is Rylos. We are under attack. We need help. Please, if anyone hears this, save us. Then the beacon fell silent. Its last lights faded. The air smelled of burnt circuits and fear. Far, far away, it was heard across the stars. In places where no life had lived for centuries, the signal echoed through abandoned relays, through broken satellites, through forgotten war zones. The signal bounced through space like a ghost. And then it reached Sol-3.Earth. But this was not the Earth the galaxy remembered. Earth, a sleeping beast, long ago. Earth had been loud. Its people had fought in every war. Their ships were fast, their weapons strong, their soldiers feared. The galaxy called them Deathworlders because they came from a planet that killed the weak and shaped the strong. A planet full of storms, volcanoes, wild predators, and dangerous weather. Only the toughest survived there, and those who did became monsters in war. But Earth had gone silent. After the last war, Earth stopped answering calls. Their ships vanished. Their trade ended. Some believed Earth had fallen. Others hoped they had, but deep under the crust of the moon, something still lived. A machine, an old listening post, hidden in rock and shielded by silence. That machine heard the signal from RY-Loss. It did not blink. It did not speak. It simply sent the signal to Earth's core command, and Earth finally woke up. The commanders react deep under the surface of Earth, far from the sun. The command center came alive. Red lights blinked. Data flowed. Screens glowed. For the first time in 300 years, Earth received a distress call. The old commanders sat in silence. Their faces were hard, lined with age, carved by war. One of them, General Mera, leaned forward. "Where did the signal come from?" "Rylos Sector 9, replied the AI voice. General Mera narrowed her eyes. "I remember Rylos. They were the ones who didn't answer our distress call." Back then, the room fell quiet. Another commander, old and tired, spoke. "They let Earth burn when we needed them. They closed their doors and watched from a distance." Mera stood up. "And now, they want help." No one answered. She looked at the screen again. The signal played on repeat. The voice of Rylos was shaken, broken, full of fear. "We are under attack. Please, save us." Mera said one word: "Prepare the fleet." The war AI awakens in a cold underground chamber far below Earth's surface. A huge steel cube began to glow. Inside it lived an ancient program war, AI_Una, system designed to lead humanity's forces if war ever returned. The AI opened its eyes glowing red. "Order received," it said. "Target. Rylos purpose, response to SOS, fleet activation, 85%, war units. Online. In orbit, massive steel ships hidden behind cloaking fields began to power up. Engines roared to life. Gun barrels moved. Soldiers. Inside, cryopods began to wake. The monsters of Earth were rising. Back on Rylos, leaders waited for a response. Days passed. Hope began to fade then. The sky changed out a massive shadow. Moved across the stars at first. They thought it was a storm, but storms do not growl. Storms do not shine with red lights. Storms do not drop ships the size of cities from orbit. The arrival of the Rylos radar stations went mad. Alarms screamed. Every satellite showed the same thing. A fleet had arrived. But this was no rescue team. These ships were black, silent, covered in armor. No flags, no lights. Just cold metal and fire beneath. The largest ship sent only one message. "This is Earth. We heard your call." And then, nothing. No offer of peace. No talk of help, just silence. Panic and confusion, the people of Rylos ran. The leaders tried to contact Earth's fleet. No one replied. Then, from orbit, small pods began to fall. Soldiers, hundreds, thousands. They landed outside cities, outside bases, near power stations. The people watched from screens, afraid to speak. The humans were tall, armored. Their helmets glowed red. Their weapons were like nothing Rylos had ever seen. One boy in a bunker whispered, "They don't look like heroes." Earth's warning back in the command center, General Mara stood before a screen. The AI spoke beside her. "Enemy presence detected on Rylos still active. Orders." Mara gave a cold smile. "We help, but we don't." "Forget." The AI paused. "Understood." Full response initiated. And in the void, Earth's war machines began to move. The monsters were no longer sleeping. An alien planet, Rylos, sent a distress signal into deep space. They expected friends, peacekeepers, maybe allies. But Earth answered, and Earth didn't send kindness. It sent war. Now ... On the surface of Rylos, silence fell after the landing. The ships of Earth stayed still like mountains of black steel. No doors opened. No soldiers moved. But their presence filled the sky like a storm that refused to pass. The leaders of Rylos stood inside a command room, eyes glued to their screens. They hoped to speak to someone, anyone from the Earth fleet. But no voice answered. Instead, one of the generals on Rylos, Commander Yellows, whispered, "We woke up something that should have stayed asleep." Long ago, Earth was a name of fearmony, and Rylos had only heard rumors about Earth. Their young believed Earth was just a legend, a ghost world, a myth of the old wars. But in the days before Earth went silent, it had been a terrifying force. Its people survived on a planet filled with poison winds, violent beasts, ice, fire, and oceans that swallowed entire cities. Earth was called a death world for a reason. Only the strongest could live there. So when humans left Earth and entered the galaxy, they were already harder, colder, and more dangerous than any other race. They fought in every war. Not because they loved war, but because they were better at it than anyone else. They tried peace but were left behind after. Centuries of fighting, Earth reached out to the galaxy for peace. It opened its doors, it shared its technology, it asked for unity. But the galaxy feared Earth's strength, feared what would happen if the humans ever turned again. So when Earth finally asked for help during its darkest warno, one came. Rylos was one of the many who closed their borders, turned off their screens, and said, "Let them burn. They are too dangerous." Now Earth remembers back in Earth's main command ship above Rylos, General Mara stood in front of a glowing map. She watched the enemy machines that still roamed the surface. These machines were not Rylos built. They were something else. Alien, cold, programmed only to destroy. The AI spoke beside her. Rylos requested aid. No confirmation if enemy was created by them or not. Mara narrowed her eyes. "We don't care who made them. We care that they didn't help us. Now they ask us to save them." She paused and added, "Fine, we'll save them. But we'll show them what Earth saves things with." On the ground, the war beasts land suddenly across the open fields of Rylos. The Earth drop pods hissed open. From each pod stepped one soldier, tall, silent, covered in dark armor, with red lights glowing at the joints. Their helmets had no eyes. Their weapons were huge and unlike anything seen on Rylos before. They did not speak. They simply moved in silence. Swift, focused, controlled. People from nearby villages watched from behind rocks and trees, terrified. One child whispered, "Are they humans?" An elder beside him answered, "No. They're what humans become when peace is broken." The first Move Earth's soldiers marched through an empty Rylos, City 1 recently attacked by the invader machines. Smoke still rose from buildings. The sky was dark with ash. Without stopping, the Earth unit deployed drones, scanners, and defense grids. Within minutes, they turned the ruins into a stronghold. Enemy machines returned. Sensing movement, the first battle began. It lasted 42 seconds. When it ended, not one Earth soldier had fallen. Over 90 machines lay in pieces, scattered like broken toys. Rylo's soldiers watching from a distance were stunned. One said, "They move like ... ghosts." Another whispered, "No, they move like monsters." Inside Earth's command general, Mara watched the battlefield data with no emotion. "Status?" she asked. The AI replied, "Enemy resistance weak. Human ground units overwhelming. Rylo's defense ... ineffective." Mara looked at a screen showing Rylo's leaders trying to open communication. Let them wait. The Galaxy Watch's news of Earth's return spread across nearby sectors. Other alien races picked up the movement of Earth's war fleet. Some gasped. In fear, others began arming their borders. Old commanders, who once fought humans, sat up from retirement and whispered, "They're back." But no one dared to interfere, because when Earth moves, the wise stay quiet. Rylo's leaders tried speaking a secure bunker deep underground. Rylos's leaders finally managed to connect to Earth's flagship. A hologram flickered. General Mara appeared. On their screen, cold and still, "This is Rylo's High Council," said one leader nervously. "We thank you for responding. Please, can we talk?" Mara stared for a moment, then spoke. "You left us to die centuries ago. You heard our cries, you turned away. Now you ask for help." The Relas leader replied quickly, "That was not us. That was a different council, different people. Please, we had no choice." Mara's voice stayed calm. "And now, ... neither do we." She ended the call. Fear spreads on Rylos. Every citizen on Rylos, who had ignored Earth's history, now understood Earth was not just powerful, it was merciless when betrayed. They had come to help. But they were not heroes. They were executioners, wearing armor. One Rylos guard said quietly to his friend, "We should have sent no signal at all." The warning before the fire. As night fell, Earth sent one final message to the Rylos people. Stay inside, stay low, do not interfere. This is no longer your war. And then, the sky turned red. Earth's ships opened fire, not on Rylos, but on the remaining enemy machine hives. The destruction was fast, surgical, terrifying. Fire rained from the stars like judgment from gods. Within minutes, the machines that had once torn cities apart were reduced to ashes. But Earth wasn't finished. The AI turned to General Mara. Primary target eliminated. "Rylos now stable?" Mara asked. "Can they be trusted not to betray us again?" The AI responded, "Probability, 14%. Mara gave a cold nod, prepared the ground units. "We're not done yet." Previously, ... RY Loss called for help. Earth answered, but Earth sent no diplomats, no words, only war. Now, ... The sky above Rylos was quiet now. The fire from Earth's warships had faded. The invader machines were gone, burned to ash by orbital strikes and ground attacks for the first time in weeks. The people of Rylos could breathe. They thought it was over. They thought Earth had saved them. But they were wrong. Not here to talk at dawn. Earth's warships began releasing more dropships. These weren't filled with rescue teams or aid workers. They carried new units, taller, heavier, more heavily armored. Some walked like humans. Others looked like metal beasts crawling, flying, scanning. Every city, every capital, every command post on Rylos had at least one Earth force parked near it now, watching, recording, waiting, and still. Earth said nothing. The Council of Rylos meets deep in the capital bunker. The Rylos High Council gathered once again. Fear was written on every face. One council member, Elvar, stood and spoke. "They destroyed the invaders. We should be grateful." Another replied, "Yes, but now they will not leave." A third whispered, "They haven't made any demands." "Why are they still here?" Commander Yellows, the military leader, answered with a grim face, "Because we asked for help from a world that never gives anything for free." Troops Rylos soldiers, dressed in green and gray, stood on rooftops and inside bunkers, watching Earth's black-armored troops patrol the streets. But these humans didn't act like occupiers. They didn't steal, didn't speak, didn't attack. They just stood. as if waiting for something. They scanned every system. They accessed power lines. They connected into local data centers. One Rylos technician whispered, "They're not helping us. They're taking control." Earth's message comes finally. A single transmission was sent across all Rylos networks. A red screen appeared, a symbol no one had seen in 300 years. The mark of sole command. A voice followed, cold, robotic. It was Earth's AI. The enemy has been eliminated. Phase 2 has begun. No one knew what Phase 2 meant. The message ended with one line. You requested assistance. Full planetary security now under Earth protection. Do not resist. Panic and protest in the city's crowds gathered. People shouted at the silent Earth troops in the streets. Some threw stones. One fired a weak pulse weapon. The soldier didn't move, but seconds later, a hovering drone dropped from the sky and locked onto the attacker. It didn't fire. It just hovered, watching. The message was clear. We are watching everything. The truth. Revealed in a hidden lab, Rylos scientists worked fast to uncover the true reason Earth remained. They dug into ancient records, war logs, and sealed archives. What they found shocked them. Centuries ago, Earth had created a program called Black Response Protocol. If Earth ever received a distress call from a world that once betrayed it, the response would not be peace, it would be control. Earth would protect them, yes, but it would also claim them. Rylos had triggered that protocol by calling Earth for help. General Mara watches in silence back aboard Earth's flagship. General Mara stood at a window, watching the planet below. The AI beside her gave updates. Rylos leadership resisting lightly. Civilian unrest at 4%. No serious threat. Mara said nothing. Then the AI asked, "Shall we initiate communication and explain?" Mara finally spoke. "No, let them think. Let them fear. They asked for warriors. Now they live under our protection. That is the cost." A child's questioning a small Rylos village. A boy stared up at the sky, where a massive Earth ship floated above like a silent god. He turned to his grandfather. "Are they here to save us or to take us?" The old man sighed. "Sometimes, child, there is no difference." Rylos's last move, the High Council sent a final message to Earth. "We thank you for your help, but we ask now please leave. Our world, let us rebuild. We can manage now." The response was short, a single word. No. Whispers across the galaxy. Other alien worlds began whispering. Earth has returned. They took Rylos in silence. They're rebuilding their influence. Some feared they would be next. Some hoped to never be heard by Earth again. But it was too late. Earth's machines were listening. Their networks reached further each day. One ancient being in a dark sector said, "The Death Worlders don't invade. They wait until you beg." Back on Relosan, the capital, Earth's troops raised a new tower signal hub glowing with blue and red lights. It pulsed every few seconds, sending data into deep space. Commander Yellows stood on a rooftop, binoculars in hand. "What are they sending?" his aide asked. "The loss," replied. "A warning to everyone previously, RY loss asked for peace." Earth answered with control. Now the skies are changing. Again, something bigger is coming. Now, above the green skies of Rylos, the light began to fade. It started slowly at first. People thought it was just a passing storm, a large shadow, clouds from the recent battles. But then, the sun disappeared. The skies turned black, and fear returned. The Rylos sky grid lights up in the central command tower. Rylos's air defense radar started screaming. Blip after blip appeared. On the screen, hundreds of new ships entering orbit. Massive, silent, cloaked. Commander Yellows stared at the display, his heart pounding. "What are those?" asked his assistant. Yellows whispered, "Reinforcements." Earth didn't come alone. Earth's second fleet arrived. New ships were not like the first fleet. They were larger, older, their hulls scarred by ancient wars. Some looked like floating cities. Others resembled giant metal beasts, spinning, glowing, crawling across. The stars, this was not just a force, it was a statement. Earth was making it clear they were back, and they were staying. Crowds watch in silence from every city, every mountain, every station, on Rylos. The people watched the sky. It was filled with black ships. Now some screamed, some prayed, but most just stood in silence, paralyzed by the weight of what they saw. In one village, an old woman said softly, "That is not a fleet. That is a warning written in metal." General Marat's message from the heart of Earth's command ship. General Marat sent out a public broadcast. Her face appeared on every Rylos screen. Her voice was calm, unshaken. Rylos called for help. Earth responded. "You survived because we allowed it." She paused. "Now hear this. Earth no longer stands alone. The world that was once ignored has returned to the stars." She looked directly into the screen. "We do not come in peace. We come in power." And with that, the screen went dark. The councils panicked in the underground capital. The High Council fell into chaos. One shouted, "This is an invasion." Another argued, "No, it's protection. Maybe." Commander Yellows raised his voice. "It doesn't matter. We're not in control anymore." No one responded. They all knew the truth now. Rylos didn't win anything. They were simply allowed to survive. Earth's ground forces, double new Earth soldiers, arrived faster, more silent, and even stranger than before. Some had glowing armor. Others moved in packs, like wolves. A few hovered just above the ground, their weapons floating beside them without touch. These were next-gen war units, part human, part machine. They took over government buildings. They entered data cores. They began mapping the planet, inch by inch. No one resisted, because by now, everyone knew what would happen if they did. A young Rylos pilot's Angaran, a hidden airbase. A young Rylos pilot named Vera watched the sky from inside her old fighter jet. Her fists were tight. "They're walking over us," she said. Her commander replied, "They saved us," Vera snapped back. "Did they? Or did they just take our war and turn it into a leash?" The commander had no answer, because she was right. The signal tower activates near the center of the capital. Earth's forces finished building something huge, a tall black tower made of shifting panels and blue light. It began to glow, a pulse shot, up into the sky, carrying data, power, control. One Rylos tech whispered, "What is it doing?" An Earth soldier, for the first time, spoke. His voice was low, cold, connecting this planet to the grid. "What grid?" the tech asked. The soldier answered, "The new one." Elsewhere in the Galaxian far systems, leaders watched right through secret feeds. They saw Earth's ships, Earth's machines, Earth's message. Some called for peace. Others started building weapons. Again, one alien general simply said, "We should have destroyed Earth when we had the chance." Another replied, "Now we just pray they don't answer our signals too." Back on Rillo, children no longer played. Cities no longer buzzed. The world stood, still waiting. Then something even more terrifying happened. Earth ships began landing. Inside Rylo's military zones, one by one, Earth replaced their systems, shut down their old weapons, and installed their own. Commander Yellows watched helplessly. They didn't come to help us fight. They came to make sure we never fight again. A new kind of war. General Mara stood in her ship, reading reports. The AI spoke. Rylo's population now under observation. All key zones secured. Mara nodded. "Prepare next step. Begin the reshaping." The AI responded, confirmed, Rylos is now officially a protected human zone. Mara looked out the window. No more forgotten allies. No more abandoned calls. She clenched her hands. Behind her back, they sent a signal. "And now we own the sky." Previously, Earth's war fleet arrived and crushed the enemy machines. Rylos was saved, but not freed. Now, Earth begins to rebuild in its own way, and it hasn't forgotten what happened long ago. Now, the black tower in Rylos's capital pulsed. Slowly, blue light ran up its spine. Above it, the Earth's flagship hovered silently, watching, recording, judging. The people of Rylos tried to return to their lives, but nothing felt normal anymore. Streets were quiet. Screens glowed with Earth's symbols. Their sky was no longer their own, and inside their own government buildings sat Earth's soldiers, not as guests, but as owners. Buried history in a dark room beneath the Rylos Archive Center. Historian Taryn Vell unlocked a sealed vault. Inside were ancient records from the time of the Great Silence, the war. Earth had fought alone. And lost. Taren read them slowly, his fingers shaking. They begged for help, he whispered. The messages were there, clear and desperate. Earth had asked Rylos and other core worlds for assistance during their collapse. No one had answered. Some had blocked the signals. Rylos had erased the records, and now Earth was here, rebuilding what they lost. Inside Earth's mobile fortress, General Mara stood before a massive screen. It displayed old war maps glowing red across forgotten star systems. The AI beside her spoke. Memory records restored. List of betrayals complete. She stared at one blinking system. Rylos Sector 9. First among the ones who turned away. The AI added, their leaders deleted evidence. But Earth never forgets. Mara nodded. Then it's time to give them back. The fire they left us in. The marking begins across Rylos. Earth's drones started painting symbols on buildings, bridges, and towers, glyphs in red and black dot. Each mark meant something. This zone is secure. This zone is under human control. This zone will be Journalists from Rylos recorded a drone tagging the front of their historical council building. This used to be our world's heart, she said. The drone turned toward her, scanned, and moved on. Even free speech now had a watcher. A broken apology in the council chamber. The leaders of Rylos stood before a large holoscreen. General Mara appeared again. Behind her, fire maps and invasion reports rolled across the display. We come today to apologize, the Rylos speaker began. He read from a written statement. His voice was forced. Cold sweat ran down his temple. We regret the past and acknowledge that Rylos turned away when Earth needed help. It was wrong. It was cowardly. Watched without emotion, when he finished, she spoke. We accept your apology. For a moment, the room sighed in relief. Then Mara added, but we do not forgive. The screen went black dot. The fire begins again that night. Earth's engineers launched a massive construction. Wave massive drills broke open Rylos. Soil. Old monuments were removed. New towers were built. Spaceports redesigned. Entire regions marked as restricted zones. Commander Yellows watched it all, standing on a balcony. They're not building a base, he said. They're building a colony. The message to the galaxy from Rylos's orbit. Earth activated a galaxy-wide transmission. It was short, simple, ruthless. A red symbol spun on the screen, the old Earth military emblem. Then, a voice, deep and cold, spoke. We are awake, we remember, and we are returning. Billions across the galaxy saw it. Old enemies began preparing. Old allies stayed silent. One planet shut down all communications instantly because now Earth was watching. The underground rebellion. In a deep tunnel beneath the old mining district, a group of young rebels gathered. Among them was Vera, the same pilot who once questioned Earth's power. They saved us, yes, but now they chain us, she said. Another voice replied, what can we do? They can destroy planets. Vera held up a small device. They may be giants, but even giants bleed, silence. Then one voice said, you're going to get us killed, Vera answered, or free. General Mara's warning inside her ship. Mara received a report about small unrest on the surface. She didn't react with fear. She smiled. Let them rebel, she said. It will give us an excuse to remind them who we are. 1. More message late at night. Across every screen, Earth sent a final message to the people of Rylos. We are not your enemy, but we do not forget. You asked for help. We gave you something better. Order. The message ended with one sentence, bold and sharp. This is what mercy looks like from a death world. Previously, Earth accepted no apology. It rebuilt. On Rylos without asking, the aliens were warned. Now someone dares to resist. Now, the night was still. No wind, no sound. Only cold blue lights blinking on Earth's war towers. But deep underground, the rebellion had already begun. In a narrow tunnel beneath District 12, Vera and her small team of Rylos fighters crawled through old escape shafts. We plant the EMP here, she whispered. Just one strike, just a warning. They didn't want war. They just wanted space to breathe. But they had already crossed a line, and Earth doesn't give second chances. An alarm that never rang inside Earth's main command station. A sensor lit up. It detected energy fluctuations tiny, almost nothing. But the AI didn't ignore it. Potential hostile action detected. There was no siren, no alert, no shouting, just a silent signal sent to orbit. A hunter drone activated the silent strike eye above the planet. From the underbelly of Earth's flagship, a black orb dropped into the sky. It made no sound, no light trail. It fell faster than anything native to Rylos could detect. Straight into the heart of District 12, Vera and her team never saw it. They only felt the tunnel shake. Then everything turned white. After math 3 blocks above, civilians ran into the streets. A sharp, quiet pulse of light had filled the sky for a second. No explosion, no fire, just light and silence. When the local patrols arrived, the old tunnel was gone, flattened, vaporized. No signs of weapons, no sounds, just a single mark burned into the ground. 01, the first warning, the first strike. Earth's message. Every screen on Rylos, a video played. General Mara stood in the center, her voice calm, her words cold. There was an illegal energy discharge near a military zone. It has been resolved. No civilians were harmed. But let this serve as your only warning. Then the screen faded. A final line appeared in bold. We do not crush rebellions. We erase them. The fear spreads in marketplaces and homes. No one spoke. People didn't cry. They didn't scream. They just stayed quiet, because now they knew Earth wasn't controlling them with chains. It was controlling them with fear, the kind that doesn't shout, the kind that whispers in the orbiting fleet inside the black glass control room of the Earth flagship. The AI calculated a 0.0002% resistance, probability for the next 30 cycles. A human officer looked at the results. Rebellion crushed already, the AI responded. There was no rebellion. There was only miscalculation. A hidden signal, but somewhere far across the galaxy, in a dark station near the edge of the void, a signal was received. It wasn't from Earth. It wasn't from RY Loss. It was from a third power, an ancient one. Watching, waiting. They're awake again. The alien commander whispered. Earth has broken silence. He turned to his crew. It begins again. Prepare the archives and call the Warburn. Back on Rylos, Vera's name disappeared from the records. No one spoke of her, but some remembered. Whispers moved through the city. Earth saw everything. They don't need time, just targets. You rebel once, you vanish. But in the deepest corners, others were still meeting. Smarter now, quieter, and angrier. Because fear can control people, but it can also change them. Previously, a rebellion tried to rise. Earth ended it without a word. Now the galaxy is watching, and some are remembering old stories. Stories about monsters from a place called Earth, now ... far from Rylos. Past dust clouds and ancient stars, in a forgotten corner of the galaxy. A station floats in silence, its name, Vault Echo 9 inside. Old records glow on curved blue screens. Dust coats the air, and Commander Jurek, a reptilian scholar with scarred skin, stares at a flickering display. It's them, he says. Earth is active again. A long time ago, ... thousands of cycles earlier. Earth fought in the galactic uprising. At that time, humans were new to the stars, but fierce. They didn't follow rules. They didn't make treaties. They ended wars. Other species tried to defeat them. Instead, Earth's forces pushed back harder, stronger, faster. Without mercy, they were called Deathworlders, a word whispered by soldiers before their last breath. But after the war ended, Earth vanished. No trade, no messages, no ships, just silence. The great lie leaders across the galaxy told their people, Earth is finished. They burned themselves out. They're no threat anymore. But that was a lie. A beautiful, easy lie, the truth. Earth went dark on purpose. Back on Relosan, a quiet corner of the capital, an old alien named Saren sits with his grandson. He speaks in a low voice, remembering things no one dares to say aloud. I saw Earth's last war. Child, they destroyed entire fleets. They walked through fire like ghosts. We didn't defeat them. We just got lucky. His grandson's eyes go wide. But why did they disappear? Saren leans closer. Because they don't fight without reason. But when they do, nothing survives. The records on Vault Echo 9, Commander Jurek gives the AI one order: unlock the Earth War logs. The AI hesitates. Warning, viewing these logs may cause panic. Do it, Jurek says. The first video plays. A recording from the Battle of Terralan. It shows Earth soldiers in black armor walking through gas, plasma, and fire. Their weapons silent, their movements fast. One soldier moves through 5 enemies. In 3 seconds, no sound, no mercy. Another recording shows Earth warships absorbing enemy fire and laughing. They enjoyed it, Jurek whispers. They enjoyed war. A hidden council in the shadows of the galactic core, leaders gather. Dozens of species, hundreds of voices, all watching Earth's reawakening. One speaks, "We told the galaxy Earth was gone." Another adds, "If we had said the truth, fear would have destroyed peace." A third voice says what none want to hear. "We didn't destroy Earth, we only gave them time to become worse." Earth remembers inside the lead Earth ship orbiting Rylos. Commander Mara walks into the memory chamber. She places her hand on a glowing pillar. Holograms light up wars, betrayals, images of alien fleets striking Earth colonies long ago. Earth never forgot. They remembered every broken treaty, every slaughtered colony, every enemy who smiled while humans died. "This isn't revenge," Mara says softly. "This is balance." An old friend speaks. A secret message arrives on Earth's encrypted channel. It's from a retired alien general named Tornok, once an ally during the old wars, to the humans, who still walk in silence. "I warned them not to wake you. They didn't listen. Now they will learn." Fear returns on 10 worlds. Strange things begin happening. Earth probes spotted above moons. Communications go dark for seconds. Fleets report shadows moving faster than sensors. Citizens ask, "Is Earth watching us too? Did we do something wrong?" The answer: Earth doesn't need a reason. They only need a memory. The message: no one expected back on Rylo's Earth, sends one strange transmission. Begins scanning for archive echoes. Protocol: Witness_01 target. Historical offenders. The meaning is unclear until Rylo's officials check their archives. They find something chilling. A full list of every past crime committed against Earth, and names still alive. Earth isn't just awake, it's hunting previously. The galaxy thought Earth was extinct. Earth wasn't. It was watching, remembering. And now, Earth is moving again with silence, with power, with purpose. Their enemies will not face diplomats. They will face the monsters they created. Now, across the skies of Rylos, shadows fall. Not from clouds, from Earth dropships, sleek, black, and quiet. They don't burn the sky, they drown it. One by one, they descend. No music, no announcements. Just a deep hum in the air, like the sound of a storm that hasn't started yet. On the ground, millions look up. Is this the help we called for? No answer comes. Earth doesn't speak. Earth marches the first step, though. Dropships open. Outstep the soldiers of Earth. Their armor is dark gray, like steel mixed with shadow. Their helmets are smooth, no eyes, no faces, just glowing red lines. Every movement is perfect, clean, cold. They won't run, they walk, as if nothing can stop them, as if everything in front of them is already dead. The aliens fire. First, the Rylos defense units panic. They fire plasma rounds, missiles, sonic cannons. Nothing hits. Earth's soldiers blink, vanish, reappear, like ghosts in metal skin. Then they strike. One soldier waves his hand. The enemy tank folds like paper. Another points and an entire building turns to dust. They're not just using weapons, they are the weapons. The resistance dies quickly in the cities. Some alien squads try to hold their lines, but Earth's units do not fight like any army before. They don't shout. They don't hesitate. They don't stop. If one falls, 2 more arrive. They move in perfect sync. Like a single mind made of hundreds, the resistance crumbles. The broadcast everyone sees suddenly, across every screen, across every planet, a message appears. It shows Earth's soldiers marching through the burning ruins. Then words: "You called, now you face us. This is the price of forgotten wars." Galaxies freeze, worlds fall silent. Some remember old stories, some deny them, but all see the same thing. The Deathworlders are real, and they are back. On the ground, a child's questioning a broken Rylos town. A small alien child hides in the rubble. Earth soldiers walk past. One pauses. The child steps out, trembling. "Why are you doing this?" The soldier kneels. Through the helmet, a cold voice replies, "Because you called us, and because your leaders lied." Then he walks away. The child watches, not with hate, but with fear, the kind that spreads across stars. The galaxy reacts on distant planets. Leaders scramble. Peace treaties are signed overnight. Fleets retreat from borders. Even pirate groups vanish into deep space. No one wants to be next. They ask themselves, what if Earth remembers our crimes too? Inside the Earth fleet in the command ship, Commander Mara stands before a glowing map. Every red dot is a target. Every dot once hurt Earth. She taps one with her finger. Next, her officers nod. No debates. No hesitation. Earth isn't conquering. Earth is correcting. And still, no Demansrilo sends diplomats. They beg for a meeting, for peace, for mercy. Earth doesn't answer no. Negotiations, because this isn't a war for territory. This is a message, and the message is being written in fire. Previously, Earth responded. Its soldiers landed. Entire cities fell in hours. No warnings, no mercy, no escape. Now, the galaxy finally understands. Earth wasn't dead. Earth was waiting now. Rylos Prime, the last untouched city. High towers tremble as Earth's war machines line the horizon. Inside the council hall, leaders argue. Some want to fight. Some want to run, but one, Chancellor Dravik, holds a white flag. They came because of us, he says. We must apologize now, or there will be nothing left. The message is sent. A signal is sent from Rylos to the Earth fleet above. We surrender. We were wrong. We beg forgiveness. Then silence, no reply. Seconds stretch into minutes. Minutes stretch into fear. Earth's response suddenly. Every screen turns on. Commander Mara appears. Her voice is sharp, her face blank. You apologize now. She leans forward. You bombed our colonies. You hunted our people. You laughed when we cried for help. Now, when you feel the same fear, you send flowers. Earth is not listening. She pauses. Earth is delivering justice. The screen goes black. The council hall falls quiet. Then, sirens dot the final wave. Thousands of dropships flood the sky. This time, Earth isn't targeting weapons. It's targeting power, communication hubs, data centers, government bunkers. Earth doesn't want control. It wants silence. It wants erasure, a last plea from the underground bunker. A Rylos scientist sends a private signal, not to Earth's command, but to someone else. Someone old, the last. Survivor of Earth's first colony on Rylozan, old man named Jonas Cade. He picks up. The Rylos scientist begs, they won't stop. Please, help us. Jonas looks tired. He taps the screen, showing Earth's soldiers walking through fire like ghosts. You called them monsters when they were weak. Now that they're strong, you ask for peace. You should have apologized. Before they started walking. Then he ends the call in orbit inside Earth's flagship. Mara watches the data. No new resistance, no threats, only silence. She closes the map. Rylos is done. Her second-in-command asks, do we wait for another apology? She shakes her head. No, next planet. But deep below, one Rylos survivor crawls through the ruins. A child, the same one from before. He looks at the stars, not with fear now, but with curiosity. What makes Earth this strong? What made them this angry? He doesn't cry. He just watches the sky. And behind him, the world burns quietly across the galaxy leaders on distant worlds. Now rush to erase their old war records. They hide files. They delete names. They try to forget what they did to Earth long ago. But Earth doesn't forget. Earth keeps records. Earth waits, and Earth always returns. Previously, the galaxy sent a distress call. Earth came, but it wasn't the Earth they remembered. Now, worlds fall without a single word from Earth's leaders. No peace talks, no demands, only silence and fire. Now, from the cold void of space, the Earth fleet hovers. Below them. Another planet burns. Smoke rises like hands begging for mercy. But Earth doesn't slow down. Earth keeps marching across the galaxy. Fear spreads in government bunkers on other worlds. Alien leaders watch the destruction in horror. Their advisors whisper, send more apologies, offer technology, give them planets. But nothing works, because Earth isn't listening anymore. Earth heard enough centuries ago, back on Earth far from the war, deep in the rebuilt cities of Earth. Old monuments stand, names carved in black stone, names of colonists who were abandoned, children who starved, families who begged for help that never came. A young human soldier stands before the wall. He runs his fingers over a name, Leah Granger, age 7, his sister. She died alone on a forgotten world, because no one came. Now her name marches across galaxies. They forgot her. We didn't. A final message. Earth sends no broadcasts, but in the wreckage of every destroyed capital, they leave behind a beacon, a black cube. It plays one message. This is what you woke. We were not always monsters. You made us this. Then silence. The cube keeps repeating. Forever. What Earth became Earth didn't become cruel on its own. The galaxy taught it. When Earth begged, it was ignored. When Earth warned, it was mocked. Now, Earth teaches a lesson. A lesson burned into every star system. Never forget Earth. But one child remembers the alien child who once saw the Earth soldier, Neil, now lives on a quiet moon. Under protection, he studies Earth, reads old history files, learns the truth, and one day, when he's older, he tells others they weren't monsters in the beginning. They became what they needed to survive. We created them, and someone asks, can they forgive us? The child stares into the sky. I don't think they came for forgiveness.